All right, so we are now looking at CPCTC. CPCTC stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So it's just a shorthand reasoning. So we're going to get there. This is a shorthand reasoning. So we've got two triangles, and we're asked to prove that angle B is congruent to angle E. It's not given to us. So we have to go a little bit farther beyond proving that the triangles are congruent. We're not just proving that the triangles are congruent, but their parts are also congruent. So here we have angle A is congruent to angle D, and that was given. So that was nice of them. The next thing that we're given is that segment AC is congruent to segment FD. That's also given. And that segment AB is congruent to segment DE. It's also given. Notice that the order in which you write your segments does not matter. Okay, so those are the three given pieces, and this is a simple problem because the triangles are separated and they did give us more than enough. In fact, they gave us exactly enough information to prove that the two triangles are congruent. So we have side, angle, side, side, angle, side. And they match up. So those are the corresponding side angle sides. So we can say that triangle CAB is congruent to triangle FDE by side angle side. So by side angle side, we have two triangles that are congruent. But that's not what we're asked to prove. We're asked to prove if angle B is congruent to angle E. Well, if two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts must also be congruent. And we wrote it in the right order, I think. CAB, C to A to B. FDE, F to D to E. Angle B is the last letter, and angle E is the last letter in the triangle congruent, so they must be congruent angles. Congruent angles. Angle B and angle E are congruent angles. This was not given to us. That's why I drew it in a different color, because it wasn't given to us, but we notice that it is true. We can now state angle B is congruent to angle E by CPCTC. If you forget CPCTC, you can always write corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Don't do that. Instead, remember CPCTC. CPCTC is just a useful thing to remember. It's just after you've proven the triangles are congruent, it's the step after that. So you prove the triangles are congruent, and then you can state that their parts must also already be congruent as well. So you do have to prove the triangles are congruent first before you can use CPCTC. Just a little note for those of you who are interested in knowing the common mistake that I see is that students will replace the triangle congruence with CPCTC. So they'll get all the way through here. They'll get to the point where they can state that the two triangles are congruent, and instead of doing that, they use CPCTC. So you can't do that. You have to prove the triangles are congruent before you can use that information to state that their corresponding parts are also congruent. All right, hopefully that helps. I think if you're stuck on proofs, You might want to go back and watch some previous videos on the triangle congruence theorems. This is just a short video on CPCTC. Again, this assignment is one that was designed to be self-taught, so you really don't need much of a lesson to be able to do it. It's just practice. So you should be practicing these and getting really good at proofs. All right, thank you so much.